Well, good evening. We want to welcome you to In the Blender with Brandon and Madeline Hyman. I tell you guys, we are so excited for the broadcast on this evening. We are going to have such an awesome time. We're going to be talking about focus factor. And I'm telling you guys, because especially during this day and time, sweetheart, I'm finding out that it's imperative that we stay focused.
Yes.
So many people are losing focus. They're losing focus in their homes. They're losing focus on their jobs. They're losing focus in their businesses, losing focus in every area of their life. And subsequently, this domino effect is beginning to affect the land.
Yeah.
And so we want to encourage you guys that you win, that you can make it, that nothing can stop you, but you're going to have to stay focused. There's some things that you're going to have to put into place. There's some things that you're going to have to do to make sure that you're staying on top.
Yeah.
Remember, we win. We're on top in every area of our life. Nothing licking, nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing wanting. I don't know how to mix both of those words together, but nothing missing, nothing lacking, and nothing wanting. And so I'm just excited. I tell you guys, we have been experiencing such an awesome move, such an awesome breakthrough, even during this time. Like I said on a previous broadcast, I personally believe that more people are going to come out of this COVID experience on top than it was that people when they went into it.
Yeah.
There's so many people that are beginning to really lean onto their creative juices. Mm-hmm. There's so many people that are looking at so many different creative ways to increase financially. It's just phenomenal. I mean, it's mind blowing. Who would have thought that people could become millionaires just by making face masks?
Right.
Who would have ever thought? I mean, just a face mask to cover your nose and your mouth, and people are making thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars just during this pandemic. And so I want to encourage you guys, it's not too late. You still can do it. You can make it. You can produce. You can be on top. All you have to do is focus. This is a time where now you can block out all those distractions, all those things that have been trying to get your attention, trying to get you focused off of the main thing, something we learned even years ago in business. Let the main thing be the main thing. And too many times I'm finding out, sweetheart, that people are they're so engulfed by so many different things that they don't even know what the main thing is anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be important, guys, that you get your focus, that you get your tenacity, that you become tenacious in this thing, that you know that you win. You're not going to stop anything. You're not going to let anything stop you. Mm-hmm. You're not going to let anything block you. You're not going to let anything keep you from obtaining what you know you should be obtaining during this time. And I'll tell you guys, you can hear the excitement. I'm excited. I mean, we are experiencing a overflow, a breakthrough. I mean, I don't even know how to put into words how great things have been.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been phenomenal. I mean, we may share it later on, you know what I'm saying? But it's just been awesome. It's been awesome to be in a position where you're just seeing doors opening.
Yeah.
You're seeing windows opening. I mean, connections. You know, we always profess that God will raise up people to use their power, their ability, and their influence on our behalf. Yeah. And I'm telling you, we are experiencing that, where people are using their power, their ability, and their influence on our behalf. It's nothing like things getting done and you didn't have a full hand in it, but it's getting done on your behalf. Yeah. You didn't have to work it out because it was already worked out on your behalf. You didn't try to figure it out because it was already figured out on your behalf. And so I'm telling you guys, there's some things we're going to drop on tonight, man, some nuggets. Listen, grab a paper, a pen, call a neighbor, call a friend, do whatever. You want to get people in on this because this is going to be life-changing. What do you got to say about this, babe?
I'm excited. I mean, tonight we're going to be talking about focus, keeping your thoughts positive, thinking on the things that you want, not necessarily focusing on what you don't want or don't want to happen, just positive thoughts on thinking on the things that you want in your life.
And that's so important that you even started right there, because listen, guys, we want you to understand your thoughts are like magnets.
Yeah.
Your thoughts are like magnets. What you think on, what you put your energy into, you're going to draw that to yourself. This is important. That's why the Bible says, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are just, if it be of a good report, if there be any virtue, be any praise, think on these things. Why? Because God set up a system that you can begin to think things and it begin to take place. You don't understand what the reason why you're dealing with debt is because you're thinking about debt. The reason why you think you have all these marital problems, because that's what you're focusing on. What you focus on will magnify.
Yeah.
What you focus on will magnify. So it's important. If you don't like what you're getting, change your thoughts.
It's not too late to change them either.
What's your take on those thoughts, babe? Talk about that.
The thing is, with that, you have to be intentional in your thinking. When negative thoughts come in, you have to cast them down immediately and overpower it with a positive thought. Something negative come, cast that junk down, think on something positive.
So you say something negative come, cast it down.
Absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
So how do you cast it down?
You just say, you say it in your mind. You say, I cast this thought down. I have authority over this thought.
So did you hear that, guys? You have authority over your thoughts. Because guess what? You can't own. This one thing I've realized. It's certain thoughts that come to me, they not mine.
Right. And you can't stop the thoughts from coming.
You can't stop them.
Just like you say, because they're not yours. So because they're not yours, you can't stop them, but you can definitely overrule them.
Watch this. You can't stop them, but you don't have to receive them.
Absolutely.
You can't stop those thoughts, but you don't have to receive them. Too many times what I'm finding out, baby, is people are receiving those thoughts.
Yeah.
And they're taking ownership of those negative thoughts. And now when you take ownership of those negative thoughts, you're finding out that now those thoughts are taking root in your life.
Yeah.
Why? Because you've now accepted that thought.
Right.
And you received that thought.
Yeah.
And you taking ownership of that thought.
Yeah.
And now you've given permission for that thought to rule and reign when that thought had no power to rule and reign. Because it's God giving you the ability to cast it down.
Absolutely.
And so we want to encourage you guys, listen, I hope you got your pen and paper, because we're going to drop some things on you tonight that if you apply this, listen, we're not talking about things that we heard. We're talking about what we live in. And I'm telling you something, we live in it.
Yeah.
And so you want to be a part of this. You want to partake on this. We win.
Absolutely.
We win. We are faith strong, and we win
in
every area of our lives. But there are some things that you're going to have to put in place. It's just like on Friday nights, we have Marriage Made Easy.
Yes.
Guess what? Marriage is made easy, but marriage isn't necessarily easy. Let me clarify that.
Right.
Marriage is made easy, but it's not necessarily easy. What do you mean? Marriage is made easy because there's some things that you're going to have to do to make it easy. There's some things that you're going to have to put in place to make it what you want it. You can want all day long. My wife and I, we're both fitness buffs. We love working out. You know, we love assisting people in attaining the bodies that they want to attain, even ourselves. But guess what? You don't get those results if you don't put any effort.
Absolutely.
You can look at the gym. You can ride by Planet Fitness all you want to. You can ride by Gold's Gym all you want to. You can ride by all those different places all you want to. But guess what's not going to happen? That body isn't going to change.
That's right. You have to put in the work.
You got to put in the work. I mean, if you want biceps, guess what you're going to have to do? You got to do some curls. If you want triceps, you're going to have to bench. You got to do some push-ups. If you want nice legs, you got to do some squats. You got to do some lunges. There's some things you're going to have to do. If you want some abs, you not only got to do some ab workouts, but you got to eat right.
Absolutely.
And so there's some things you're going to have to put in place, guys. We're not up here to give you any nursery rhymes. We're not up here to tickle your ears. We're up here to say, listen, you're going to have to put some work in. Focusing takes work.
Yeah.
It takes work to focus. It takes work to keep your focus on a prize.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that's out here to distract you.
Yeah.
So many things that's out there to distract you. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself drifting. Mm-hmm. How easy is it to drift?
Very easy. I mean, it's really easy. It sometimes it seems like, and not necessarily that it's so, but sometimes it can seem like it's easier to drift than it is to be intentional on staying on in the right thoughts.
No, but that's true though.
You know,
that's very true. Say that again.
Sometimes it seems easier to drift.
Stop right there. Sometimes it seems easier to drift because a lot of people are struggling in that area. They're drifting. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, guys, it seems easy to drift. Mm-hmm. I don't care how things are going. Sometimes it just seems easy to get off. You could be going down the right path. You could be doing the right thing. You could be loving your wife. You could be loving your husband. You could be loving your children. And sometimes it just seems easy to get off course. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But what was the other parts of that? It takes work.
It takes work to. It seems like it takes more work to stay on the right course or in the right frame of mind, the right thinking, to be intentional and, thinking right.
It takes work.
Right. Not so much doing right, but, your thoughts, because that's what we're talking about. Focusing. So it's
all of that. Because all of that is a part of focus.
Yes.
All of that is a byproduct of your focus.
And in the part of where it seems easier, it's like subtle thoughts. It's like the thoughts are there, and it's like, where'd that come from? Mm-hmm. It comes sometimes before you can even catch it. Mm-hmm. It's just so subtle. It's just there, and you find yourself like, wait a minute, where'd that come from? I wasn't thinking about that. You know what I mean? It's like the thought just eases right on in.
Because guess what, guys? You have to be intentional.
Yeah.
The Bible says it like this. There's a way that seems right. And you could be doing some things that seem right, but just because it seems right doesn't mean it is right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It just seems right. Mm-hmm. See, seeming right and is right are two different things, and they take two separate energy forces.
Right.
Because is right means you're intentional. Mm-hmm. Seeming right means you're unintentional. Mm-hmm. And there's some things, guys, to stay focused during this time, you're going to have to be intentional. Mm-hmm. There's some things you're going to have to put in place. Every day we have a regimen. Mm-hmm. Our pastor calls it a righteous regimen. Mm-hmm. There's a righteous regimen, guys, you're going to have to put in place to ensure that you're on top, to ensure that you're prospering in every area of your life, not just physically, not just financially, not just emotionally, but in every area. Yeah. It's not just good to have a pocket full of money and no love in the house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not just good for that. Because you got some folks, guess what? Their pocket's fine. Their pockets, they say fat. They loaded. Mm-hmm. They got all their needs met. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In the area of finances.
Right.
But their home is torn apart. Then you got those who have a loving home, but then they broke. Mm-hmm. Their financial picture isn't in the place that they wanted to be. Mm-hmm. So we want to encourage you guys to give you some tidbits, some nuggets, some information that you can apply right now. Right. And guess what, guys? The great thing about this, let me tell you something. When I found this out, man, it was life-changing for me. My wife can tell you guys, I'm a new creature. I'm a new creature. I mean, old things are passed away, and behold, all things have become new. I am new, man. The way I'm seeing things, the way I'm viewing things, the way I'm hearing things, the way I'm looking at things, you know what I'm saying? The way I'm touching, everything about me is new. My zeal is new. My desires are new. My wants and everything about me is new. Why? Because I have an understanding. Scripture says it like this: in all you're getting, get understanding. It's not just good to get and don't get understanding. Yeah. It's not good to just what happens when you just get and don't get understanding?
Ain't too much gonna happen for you. If you don't have understanding of what you're getting, you're not going to be able to keep what you get. Because how are you going to understand what you need to do to keep what you get?
Watch this. Understanding divine comprehension in your heart that allows you to repeat a matter at will. That repeat a matter at will isn't a verbal repeat. It's not a verbal regurgitation. That repeating a matter is the ability with your life to reproduce what you did to be successful over and over and over again. So no matter what comes up against you, no matter what you're facing, guess what? You can repeat that matter over and over and over again in your life and get the same results. Why? Because you have understanding. And so listen, you can use your mental faculty to control your life. Listen, guys, you can use your mind to control your life. That's what it's there for. You can use that mind, not the brain, but your mind. You can use your mind to area your thoughts. You can use your mind to control your life. You control your mind, guess what? You control your life.
Yeah.
What was the saying when we was coming up, sweetheart, that we used to hear all the time?
Your mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Come on, girl. Yeah. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. So many people right now, you're wasting your mind. It's wasting. Why? Because you're letting all this nonsense infiltrate your thoughts, infiltrate your feelings, infiltrate your emotions, and it's keeping you from making positive, righteous, on-point decisions. It's keeping you from doing that. That's why they say growing up, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. You see people, man, when we was growing up, you knew their mind was gone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You knew it. And I'm telling you, we're seeing that even during this time. There's some people, man, who you thought was strong. You thought had it going on. You thought had all their stuff together. And you found out that they was wasting their mind. Because they let all this nonsense infiltrate your mind. Listen, we know COVID is going on. We know the election, the presidential election is going. We know all these things are going on. But don't be consumed by that mess. Because that's what it is, mess. From the Republican side to the Democratic side, it's all mess. Because you got all of them lying. We're not even going to go there, but it's mess. And so, I'm not even going to give my political views because I'm not up here for that. We're talking about the family. We talk about the blended family. We talk about keeping focus. And so, but stop letting this junk, man, overtake your thoughts. Yeah. Some of y'all so consumed by this hatred with Trump, guess what? It's consuming your life. You can't even make good decisions because you're worried about him. Some of y'all so consumed by Biden and Harris that you can't even focus on your life. Wow, that's junk. Anything that's taking full authority and full place in your mind is junk. That's not taking you to that next level, is not taking you to that next dimension, is not bringing prosperity and fulfillment to you and your family, is junk. You don't have time for it. You don't have time for it. So you got to understand, you can use your mental faculty to control your life. Use your mind, man. Put that thing to use. You'll be surprised what you can think of. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how innovative you really are. The Bible says that God created man in his image and in his likeness. Now, if he's a creator, how much more are you?
Right. Right.
If God is the creator and he created us in his image and his likeness, how much more of a creator are you? Why aren't you creating increase? Why aren't you creating promotion? Why aren't you creating things to take you and your family to that next level in that next dimension? And let me say this, sometimes it takes a while, then sometimes it's instantaneously. It's like folks that in scripture that got healed. Some got healed immediately and some got healed as they went. But guess what? Healing was still there.
Right.
The creative juices, guys, the creative powers are still there. Every time you look around, you're looking at somebody's creation. We turned on lights. Guess who we contribute that to? We can contribute that to Lewis Latimer and William and Graham Bell. We can contribute that to them. Creations are there, guys. It's always something there that you can put your mind to that's going to take you to another level, another dimension. You got to trust that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to trust it.
Yeah.
And so, again, you can use your mind or your mental faculties to control your life. Master your mind, and it will guide you intelligently. Master your mind. Master those thoughts, man. You got to master your mind. How do they master their mind? So you give one way you know how to master your mind now.
One way I know of mastering my mind is just keeping positive thoughts flowing.
Keeping positive
things flowing. Intentionally keeping positive thoughts flowing.
What are some of the what is one thing that you do on a regular basis now?
Reading more.
Reading more. Give me something else.
Listening to successful people that's already like gotten to where I want to be or where I'm trying to become. You know what I mean?
So reading more,
studying,
giving your ear to those that are already there. Studying, because reading and studying is different, guys. Let's be clear on that. Reading and studying is different. The Bible says study to show yourself approved. It didn't say read to show yourself approved. Right. It says study to show yourself approved. And so studying, meditating, taking time out of the day to get by yourself, you know what I'm saying, and just meditate. What else?
I writing.
What?
Well, like actually when I'm taking like notes, taking notes of what I'm taking in.
Okay.
And then going back over that like repeatedly.
These are ways, guys, you can master your mind. These are ways to master your mind.
And all of it is just being intentional, though.
You have to be intentional.
It's all about being intentional.
You have to be intentional. Learn to think how you ought to think. Lend your mental capacity to the things which are essential to your welfare. So if it's not beneficial, man, stop meditating on it.
Yeah.
The Bible says all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. So you can think on it if you want to, but it may not be beneficial to you.
Right.
It's your mind. It's your party. You can cry if you want to. It's your life. You can do what you want to. But that don't mean it's going to be beneficial to you. That don't mean it's going to advance you. That doesn't mean it's going to take you to that place, that arena, that dimension that you want to get to. That doesn't mean that.
Right.
Yes, you can do it, but that doesn't mean you're going to get there by doing that. You have to be intentional. You have to take authority. You have to learn how to think on things that are essential to your welfare. If it's not going to increase me, if it's not going to promote me, if it's not going to elevate me and my family, if it's not going to build us up, I don't have time for it.
Yeah.
I don't have time for it. I don't have time to think on those things.
Right.
Don't have time for it. Your thoughts make you, and your ideals, principles, and ruling desires will determine your destiny. So your thoughts make you, and your ideals, principles, and ruling desires will determine your destiny. Do you want to figure out where you're going? Think about what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Think about your thoughts. Think about your desires, your ideals, your principles. Look at all of those things, and I'm going to tell you where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
If you pay attention to your thoughts, if you pay attention to your ideals, your that core things that you stand on, your principles, your ruling desires, those things that motivate you. If you begin to look at those things, I'm going to tell you where you're going to end up. They'll tell you where you'll end up. Absolutely. All you got to do is now look at those things. And if you don't like what that end picture is showing you, guess what? You can change it right now.
Get it off the forefront of your canvas.
You can change it right now. Van Gogh said this. I don't dream my paintings. People said, no, Van Gogh said this. Somebody asked Van Gogh, said, about an original. And Van Gogh said, that's not an original. Mm-hmm. They said, what you mean? That was the first time you painted that? He said, no, that's not the first time I painted that picture. I painted that picture on the canvas of my imagination. Then I took it from the canvas of my imagination and I put it to where you can see it. And I'm telling you guys, there's some things that are painted on the canvas of your imagination, man, that if you just will allow yourself to pull it from that canvas and place it into this universal canvas, man, it's going to yield such a harvest. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. If you allow yourself to take those ideals from the canvas of your imagination and now bring it to this universal canvas, you're going to see things begin to just open up and you're going to see doors and opportunities and all kind of things just present itself to you like they've never presented themselves before. Why? Because you're using this mental capacity. Make a daily effort to use the knowledge that you have gained. You got to we're talking about focus factor, guys. Make a daily effort to use the knowledge. What are one of the things that we do now more than we've done ever?
Study, basically. We take self-development. We take a few hours first thing to ourselves and sit ourselves down and study.
And I'm talking about, watch this, guys, focusing. Intentional.
Right.
Personal development. Some of you guys don't have any reasons right now where you're not building yourself up. Take this opportunity to build yourself up.
Yeah.
Take this opportunity to invest in yourself. I mean, there's people that are learning how to play guitars. There are people that are learning how to do different trades. There are people that are going back to school. Take this opportunity to invest in yourself. We do that through motivation.
Yeah.
We take every day, we're taking a couple hours out of our day. And we're using that opportunity, that time, to build ourselves up. Because when this is over with, guess what? It's no stopping.
Right.
It's no stopping. So we're not waiting for this to be over with. We're doing this now. So when this passes, you already ahead of the game.
Right.
Remember, guys, something we learned years ago. Something happened, time passed, and something happened. Guess what? There was something that happened, time passed, and then something else happened. Mm-hmm. Corona happened, time has passed, and then guess what? Something's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So don't just get stuck here talking about corona. Don't just get stuck here talking about what you're dealing with right now, because guess what? There's time still passing. Right. Every moment you take a breath, time has passed. Yeah. Every time you blink your eye, time has passed. Every time you turn your head, you open your mouth, guess what? Time has passed. Something happened, time passed, something happens. So you already oh my God, you already in the position for a breakthrough. You already in position for healing. You're already in position for deliverance. You're already in a position for your marriage to come back together. I don't care what this time is presenting yourself. Something happened, time passed, and something happens. So time isn't standing still. Time doesn't have that authority to do anything but do what it does, and that's pass. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what time has the authority to do. It passes. Yep. It doesn't have, time don't heal all wounds. Time don't give me time. You know, Boy George sung a song. And guess what? Calm down. Calm down. Time doesn't have that authority. It doesn't have that permission. It just had permission to pass. And so we want to encourage you guys. I don't care what it looks like. Something happened. Right. Make a decision right now as time has passed, and guess what's going to happen? Something's going to happen. But if you don't make a decision right now, if you don't become purposeful, if you don't focus in on what you need to focus in, then guess what? You're just going to keep producing the same things. And what do they call that, sweetheart?
Insanity.
Insanity.
It's like, wait,
they call that insanity. Insanity is what?
Doing the same thing, expecting different results.
Doing the same thing, expecting different results. And then another way you're going to work on this focus, guys, is you're going to have to improve upon all your opinions. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to improve upon all your opinions. Because we found out years ago that all we know is not all there is to know. Right. And so I don't care how smart you think you are. I don't care how intelligent you think you'll claim you are to be. What you know is not all there is to know. So you're going to have to come to a point, man, that you're going to have to improve upon your opinions. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Too many of us, we are stuck in our own ways of thinking. Yeah. Our own opinion, our own way of seeing things. And guess what? That's not the only way to see things. That's not the only way to view things. That's not the only way to think on things. Enhance yourself. Right. Build upon your opinions. Lean to another person's opinion to see why they think the way they think it. Why they view it the way they view it. I said thinking. Why they view things the way they view things. And guess what? It will allow you to improve upon your opinions. Mm-hmm. My wife and I, we talk all the time. Not that we didn't talk all the time, but man, we talk all the time. And so she'll say something and I'll come at a whole nother different angle. And she's like, how did you see that? How did you get that? Because I'm improving upon my opinions. I'm improving upon the way I see things and the way I view things. And I clearly understand that my way of seeing things is not the only way to see things. My way of viewing things isn't the only way of viewing things. My way of understanding things is not the only way to understand things. And what allows me to focus better is to understand just that. To understand just that. So listen, improve upon your opinions. Many of you guys' problems are just mental in nature. They just mental. Your problems are just mental in nature. They have no existence outside of themselves. What did he say? Man, that thing you're dealing with right now, that's mental. That's mental. That problem that you're facing right now is mental. Because you can change your thoughts and it'll change your life. Yeah. You can change your mindset right now and it will begin to change your life. You can change it. Mm-hmm. Change what you're saying. Change what you're putting out in the atmosphere. Remember, your word, the Bible says that his word returns not back void, but it accomplished that what he pleased and it prospered into the things whereto he sent it. So if we're created in the image and likeness of God, which we are, then our words don't come back to us void. So if you don't like what you're saying, if you want things to change, change what you're saying, because your words have authority. Your words have power. You are a speaking spirit. You're in a shell. This body that we're looking at, this handsome chocolate body you're looking at right now, this is a shell. This is the shell of Brandon. I am a spirit. I am a speaking spirit. I call those things that are not as though they were. I speak it. I call it. I have that authority. And when you begin to understand that authority that you've been given, you can change your life, man. Unfortunately, many of us, sweetheart, we haven't been exercising that authority. Yeah. We haven't been. It's yours. Yeah. It's your gun. Use it. It's your nightstick. Use it. It's your weapon. Use it. Use it to your advantage. Use it to the capacity where you need it to be in your life, where you want it to be in your life. Use it. Your words don't return back void. They don't come back empty. That's why you're seeing the mess you're seeing in your life, I promise you, is 99% full of the words you've been speaking. It's full of it. Some of y'all worried about driving, having accidents. Guess what? You having accidents. You worried about layoffs on the job. Guess what? They laying you off. You worried about not having enough money to take care of stuff. Guess what? You don't have enough money. You worried about somebody cheating on you. Guess what's happening? They cheating. You putting that out there.
Right.
Yes, everything has participatory people in it that people can participate in it, but you're putting it on the atmosphere. You're setting that thing up to be so. And so if you want something, begin to decree and declare it. This is what I want. I'm the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. I'm the lender and not the borrower. Money is coming to me in increasing amounts, overtaking me daily. I give and it shall be given unto me. What you want, that's what you decree. I wanted a better marriage. Guess what I started saying? My marriage is blessed. My marriage is on top. I'm a great husband. I'm a great father. I started decreeing things even before they were manifested in the natural. I was decreeing them. And guess what happened? I began to obtain everything I decreed. There was a time this yellow, this light-skinned young lady, this beautiful wife of mine didn't even want to be around me. There was a time she couldn't stand me. Now, man, I'm running from her. Oh my God, it is amazing. There was a time she couldn't listen. You sit on that end, I sit on this end. We got all this space in the middle. Don't cross that line. That's the way it was flowing. Now, I can't keep the girl above me. Like I go to the bathroom. Guess who at the door? Girl, can I use the bathroom in peace?
No, you don't say it nice like that. Don't even know. You like,
yeah, for real. Like, really? Right. No, but watch this. But there was a time when it wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was a time when, don't touch me. Listen, I'm hot.
Stay on that side.
Stay on that side. There was a time when things weren't like they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it took putting the effort in. It took putting that work in. It took me focusing.
Yeah.
Focusing on my family. Focusing on my relationships. Focusing on my finances. Focusing on my fitness, my health. Focusing on when I begin to focus on every area of my life, guess what? Every area of my life begin to fall in place.
Yeah.
Every area. And so, what do you guys say about that? What do you guys say about that, man?
I mean, it's like, that's just the way it is. When you put your focus on every area, be intentional in your thinking, your thoughts, what you speak over your life, you have what you say. And that's why you really have to be careful of what you speak out. Because sometimes you may think something doesn't necessarily mean for you to speak it.
What's my favorite saying on that?
Just because you think it don't mean you got to say it.
No.
What you say?
She trying to say the nice version. I say no. Just because it enter your head, don't give your mouth permission to speak it. That's what I say.
What you say.
Just because it enters your head, it does not give your mouth permission to speak it. Too many of you guys are allowing what enters your head to come straight out your mouth.
Yeah.
There's a filter. One of the things we're learning, even through love, agape, is funneling everything through agape. You're gonna have to learn how to funnel things.
Right.
Just because it enters into your mind, enters into your thoughts, does not give your mouth permission to say it. It's just there. It's just what it is. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to be careful with that. Because this I found out, babe. Most people don't even really ask themselves why they think the way they think. Most people don't even ask themselves, if you want to see, what you got to say?
No, I'm listening to that. Because you say most people
don't ask themselves why they think the way they think.
That's true. That's true.
Most people don't. Because you're looking at circumstances, you're looking at situations that's going on in your life, and you know it's a byproduct of your thoughts, what you've been thinking, but you don't even take the time to ask yourself, why do I think that way? Because some things you know crazy. Some things some of your thoughts you know ain't right. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Some thoughts that come across that mind, you know ain't right. And why do you think that way? You know, one of my favorite artists growing up, I had two guys that were two of my favorites. And, you know, during that area of the 70s and 80s, especially the 80s, these 80s and 90s, these guys pretty much ruled.
Mm-hmm.
One name was Michael Jackson. The other name was Prince.
Mm-hmm.
And Prince had this song called When Doves Fly.
Mm-hmm.
And a part of that song is like one of my favorite, or not favorite, but one of my memorable lines of the song. And Prince said, maybe I'm just like my mother. She's never satisfied. Maybe I'm just like my father, simple. This is how it sounds like when doves fly.
Wow.
And Prince had to understand that, guess what? It's some things about me, man, some things how I operate and function that I didn't just get this from myself.
Right. It was passed down.
This was passed down. And some of you guys are struggling in areas because you haven't realized that those thoughts, that mentality, that paradigm, that way of thinking didn't come just from you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to look at your family, look at your heritage. Look, some of you got your parents on such a pedestal that you won't be honest on how they really thought about life. You won't be honest about how your father thought and how your mother thought and how your grandparents thought. You know me, I'm going to say it. Because they already know. We've already had this conversation. I was a byproduct of their thoughts because I inherited a lot of those thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when I realized I inherited a lot of those thoughts, I just had to come to the conclusion, either I can own it or I can dismiss it. It was just that simple. I can own those thoughts or I can dismiss them.
Yeah.
But I had to look at why, because life wasn't giving me what I wanted it to give me. And it's easy to blame others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's easy to blame other people for why things not going. It's easy for me to blame Madeline for why our marriage isn't on top. It's easy. She crazy. She lunching. She this. What about me? Why I can't look at me and say, he crazy. He lunching. He need to get himself together. It's easy to blame others.
Yeah.
A lot of people, even during this pandemic, we find out that marriages are falling apart. I mean, man, listen. I love this time with this one right here. She could tell you if I'm going somewhere, hey, I'm going this road. I don't need to take a ride by myself. I don't need to go out and get my thoughts together by myself. That's why I got rooms in my house for. If I really need to get my thoughts together, I just go to another room. I don't need to go physically from my house.
Right. That's right.
Everything that has come into our lives, we have attracted it. Everything. Focus, man. Everything. It's like a magnet. Your thoughts are like magnets.
Mm-hmm.
The results, the outcomes are like those pins and those paper clips that we used to stick that magnet to and watch it draw to it.
Yeah.
That's the same way it is with your thoughts, man. It's the same way with you focusing. When you focus the right way, guess what's going to happen? You're going to draw that stuff to you. You've been focusing the wrong way, and consequently, you've been drawing things to you that you really didn't want. But it's because that's what you're focusing on.
Right. Right.
When you begin to focus on increase in promotion, guess what comes to you? Increase in promotion. When you begin to focus on a better relationship, a better marriage, being a better spouse, being a better parent, having a better body, when you begin to focus on those things, guess what? You'll begin to draw things that will position you or put you in a position to obtain those things. But what you focus on, that's what you draw. If you don't change your focus, you won't change what you're getting.
Yeah.
It's a magnet. It's attraction. When you begin to control that, you will begin to control your life.
Mm-hmm.
When you begin to control that, sitting here sometimes, it's like, oh no, I'm not, no, that's not my thought. I ain't thinking that. No, why? Because I don't want that.
Right. Right.
I don't want that. What I don't want, I don't allow time to spin in my mind.
Right.
I don't give it permission to hang out in my thoughts.
Right. No matter how many times it try to come.
No.
Boom.
No matter how many times.
Boom. Boom. Nope. Nope.
We think in secret and it comes to pass. Did you hear what I said? We think in secret and it comes to pass. What you living right now is a product of your secret thoughts. We think in secret and it comes to pass. And you're trying to figure out, why is my life like this? Those are your secret thoughts. Those things you've been meditating in the secret places of your life that you just been constantly thinking about and thinking about and thinking about. You ain't been saying much about it, but you've been thinking about it. And guess what? It's coming to pass. Why? Because that's the energy you giving it. That's the energy you giving it. And guess what? You're going to get just what you put out. You're going to get those things. The only thing about a man that makes a man is his mind. Everything else you can find in a pig and a horse. That's the only thing that makes a man is his mind. Because you got a body.
Mm-hmm.
You got a heart.
Mm-hmm.
You got eyes, you got ears.
Mm-hmm.
What makes us a man is our mind. Because we have creative juices. A pig can't create nothing.
Right.
A horse can't create anything.
Right.
An elephant can't create anything. Mm-hmm. A giraffe, a dog cannot create anything. But a man can. Why? That's because good. God created him in his image and his likeness.
Yes.
And if you put your mind to do the right things, guess what you're going to have? You're going to have the right results.
Yeah.
You're going to have the right results. People think things are a mystery. When you look at successful people, you think, man, it's a mystery, man. I don't know how they got there. Guess what? Mystery is just another name for ignorance. That's what mystery is. Mystery is just another name for ignorance. You know why it's mysterious to you? Because you ignorant of the facts. If you're knowledgeable of the fact, it can't be mysterious to you. It can't be a mystery. If you're knowledgeable about something, there's no mystery.
Right. Right.
It's like when you first met your spouse, there was a mystery. That it was intriguing. You wanted to know some things. Right. That was the mystery. But when you got to know them, guess what happened? That mystery left.
Right. Because now you know.
Because now you know. Mystery is just what it is. It's another name for ignorance. All things are mysterious when they're not understood. All things are mysterious when they're not understood.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I just don't get it because you don't understand.
You don't understand.
When you understand, you'll get it. And watch this. God understands that so much. He said, in all your what?
All you're getting.
Get what?
Understanding.
In all you're getting, get understanding. He's giving us the tools. Mm-hmm. He's giving us the things that we can focus on to be a success, to take our relationships to the next dimension, not just the next level, but the next dimension. Because sometimes that next level is so close to that former level, you don't even see a difference.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Sometimes that next level, so you got to be careful even saying that. I want to go to the next level. How high is that next level?
Right.
How far is that next level?
Right.
Because for some, that next level is so close that it really doesn't seem different. But when you go to another dimension, guess what? That's a whole nother atmosphere, a whole nother stratosphere. That's a whole nother place. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Listen, guys, we want to encourage you. Listen, You are going to come out of this thing in flying colors. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it feels like. We're not moved by our feelings. We move by what we know,
Right.
And understand. That's what moves us. What we know and understand. Feelings are fickle, man. They change.
Yeah.
Anytime a candy bar maker understands how feelings work, why don't you? Guess what? They've been selling these things for almost all my life, if not more.
Mounds.
I'm enjoying mounds. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel a certain way. Because guess what? It's in your mind. It's in your mind. Because they understand. Sometimes you feel a certain way, sometimes you don't. And you can't keep allowing yourself to be ruled by these changing feelings.
Yeah.
Focus, man.
Yeah.
Focus. There were times when I didn't feel her. There was times when she didn't feel me. That didn't mean we didn't love each other.
Right.
That didn't mean we didn't think we were supposed to be together. We just at that particular time didn't feel each other. That didn't change what was what.
Right.
That didn't change what we knew and what we understood. Mm-hmm. It was just a feeling.
Right.
And when what you know and understand supersedes feelings, guess what? You can keep on moving. You can keep on striving. You can keep on pushing on. And that's what we want to encourage you. I don't care what's going on. Your tomorrow will be better than your today.
Yes.
Why? Because something happens, time passes, and something happens. Something happened. In the time passing, you're hearing this word. In the time passing, you're getting understanding. And guess what? Something's going to happen. A change is going to take place. A change is going to come. You just got to set yourself up for it. You got to begin to regulate your thoughts. You got to begin to focus. You got to be intentional. You talked about being intentional. You got to be intentional. We have been programmed to live through our senses. What we see, hear, smell, and touch. You've been programmed that way, man. You got to change that. You got to change from living through your senses. Mm-hmm. Your senses can be wrong. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Your senses can be wrong. Mm-hmm. You ever thought somebody was a certain way? You sensed they was a certain way, and you found out what you sensed wasn't even right? Yeah. You know what I mean? People thought this wasn't going to last. They sensed this was just something we were doing. Here we are 23 years later, striving and thriving and all the other Ivans. We laugh at this all the time, guys. Trust me. This cracks us up, man. People ain't give us a hell chance in a handbasket. Yeah. They didn't give us an opportunity to make it. Knew this wasn't going to last. And here we are being examples that God called us to be in this day and time in our marriage and in our relationship. Yes. Yep. Count it as out. This ain't going to last. I told y'all, look what they're dealing with now. It's just a matter of time. And we here. 23 years. Standing, strong, faith strong. Yes. Faith strong. On the word. Being, doing, and having all that he said we should be, do, and have. Nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing wanting. This is the last one for this session. Your thoughts are a very powerful force. You can flash your thoughts from pole to pole, right around the globe in several times in less than a single second. That's how powerful your thoughts are, man. I'm showing you how this thing can change. Your thoughts can go around the globe several times in under a single second. If If your thoughts have the ability to move that fast, how much more you think your life can change?
Yeah.
Just like that. Just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus said, take up your bed and rise and walk. Take up your bed and walk. Rise up. Take up your bed and walk. Guess what? The moment that thought went out to take up his bed, the moment the thought came out to rise up and walk, guess what happened? Healing took place.
Yeah.
Go show yourself. The moment the thought came to go show yourself, guess what took place? Healing.
Mm-hmm.
The woman with the issue of blood say, in herself, her thoughts say, if I could touch. This is what her thoughts say, guys. I'm trying to tell you how powerful your thoughts are. If I could just touch. She just thought it. She hadn't even touched them physically.
Right.
But the thought was that it already took it. The thought was, once my hand hit this, it's done.
It's done.
If you can begin to just change your focus, man, change your thoughts, you will see things you never thought would happen before. You will see it. You'll see it. I'm telling you guys. I'm just behaving myself, man. Because I've been put on the leash. But she ever let me off that leash, it's going to be on and popping. No, because we've seen some things. And it's just been phenomenal. It's been awesome, mind blowing. I'm like, wow. Wow. God don't lie. He can't lie.
Yeah.
He can't lie. So if he said it, that settles it. He said you are in his image and in his likeness. So won't you be like in his image and in his likeness? Won't you take your proper position in your proper role? It's yours. Mm-hmm. You know why Denzel can command the pay he gets paid? Because he know how to play his proper role. Yeah. Play your role. Guess what? There's a payday behind your role. But you got to focus on that role, man. You got to put that role on. You got to focus. Don't get sidetracked. And get just what that thing been designed for you to get. What you guys say, man?
This was good to me.
What you guys say?
It's helping me. It done helped me. It really, no, it really has, because I keep hearing just being intentional about your thoughts. When those negative thoughts come in, boom, shoot them away. Right then and there, right then and there, right then and there. I don't care how many times they try to come. Cast them down. Rebuke them. Don't even entertain them. Quickly think of something positive. Increase, promotion, abundance. I'm on top. I'm the head, not the tail. Above, never beneath. I am a child of the Most High God. Anything that you have to replace it with, replace it.
That's right. Replace it. You don't have to entertain it. You don't have to keep it. You don't have to own it.
Absolutely.
You don't have to own those thoughts that you're not going to make it. You don't have to own the thoughts that your marriage isn't going to come back together. Right. You don't have to own the thought that your children will never rise up to live out their destiny. You don't have to obtain the thoughts that you're going to always be broken. You're never going to have. You don't have to keep those thoughts.
Right.
You don't have to entertain those thoughts. You have the ability to replace those thoughts. Mm-hmm. You have the ability to be doing half all that God said you should be doing half. All you got to do is focus. You focus. When you focus, it will channel you to those things that you're focusing on. What you're looking at right now has been a product of your focus. Mm-hmm. Now change your focus.
Change your focus.
Change your focus. It's like lenses. It's like right now you guys think, man, he got a lot of glare. These are readers. These are not my regular glasses. They just readers. So they have no anti-reflective treatment coating on them. So what you're seeing is that reflection, because there's no anti-reflection.
Right.
But these, watch this. These are what enhance my focus. Mm-hmm. When I take them off to read, guess what? It's now blurred. Mm-hmm. But when I put them back on, guess what? It becomes clear.
Mm-hmm.
Change your focus. If I don't like what I'm seeing, I change my focus. It's really that simple. People say, how? Change it. It's not that difficult. It's not difficult at all. It just takes effort. You put forth the effort, you'll get the change. Listen, we're out of time. We thank you for tuning in to In the Blender with Brandon and Madeline Hyman. How can they reach us, sweetheart?
You can reach us via email at weareablendedfamily@gmail.com or our website, intheblenderministries.com. Also, don't forget to tune in on Thursday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. on WJMS Radio. Also, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, any of the social media outlets for replays of different broadcasts that we've had over the years. So, yes.
YouTube.
And and YouTube.
And
How
YouTube.
could I forget YouTube?
Yeah, and YouTube.
And YouTube.
And so, listen, guys, we thank you for tuning in once again to In the Blender with Brandon and Madeline Hyman. We pray that something we shared on tonight will be impactful, that it will be enlightening, that will be encouraging, that you can take these tidbits, these nuggets, these I call them these blend ingredients, that you can take these blend ingredients, man, apply them to your life and be the better thereby. Until next time, we love you guys. Peace.